Hi everyone, my name's Chelsea. I'm Al's oldest daughter, and I'm assuming that he's there with you right now watching this video because he asked me to create it. He asked me to come up with a topic that I thought you guys could discuss and use this week while you're at camp. So the topic I came up with sounds pretty straightforward. It's that your best is good enough. But truthfully, I think that as human beings, and maybe more specifically athletes, it's one of the most challenging things to believe. See, sports, they ask us to be competitive. They're a direct contest of whose skills are better, and it's so easy to get lost in the trap of comparison. I'm sure you've seen the quote on social media that comparison is the thief of joy, one of my personal faves, because it feels so true to me. See, I started playing basketball when I was about 10 years old, and I quickly grew to love it. I stopped playing basketball when I was 21 years old because I had quickly grown to hate it. Growing up, I don't really remember a single practice or game that I participated in that I wasn't incredibly nervous for. Some days I would cry, some days I was physically sick, and sadly, some days I totally let my mind win and I didn't play at all. Excuses became my crutch when that concept of comparison just became way too much. I struggled to show up if I thought there was a chance I wouldn't be the best, and because I struggled to show up, I never really was my best. As I've gotten older, there's one lesson that my mom used to say to me on repeat that's finally allowed me to find success because I finally believe it. Though I haven't really found success in sports, unless you count like women's league soccer, adult slow pitch, I have found success in my career, my relationships, my friendships, just my personal life. Growing up, my mom always told me that your best is good enough, Chelsea. I would respond to her and say, no, it's not. And she would always say to me, well, it has to be. See, there's not a day that passes now that I don't remind myself that my best is actually good enough. And I actually believe it. If I mess up at work, oops, I'm sorry, but my best has to be good enough. If I hurt someone's feelings, of course, I'm sorry, but I forgive myself because I did my best. That's got to be good enough. So freeing to live recognizing that when you give it your all, that's good enough. See, you can regret things or feel disappointed or defeated when you didn't give it your all. But when you give it everything you have, the outcome becomes less relevant. Comparison was the thief of joy for me when it came to basketball, and sadly other areas of my life too. I challenge you to not let it be yours also. Remember, your best is actually good enough. And the person sitting to your left, their best is good enough too. To your right, their best is also good enough. Winning, yeah, it's something. But I promise you, there's room for all of you on top. Bye, guys.